When we first bought this land, a neighbor walked up the street to see what we were doing. When we said we were looking to buy this land, he said, "To do what?" And we said, "To build." And he said, "It's too wet." Oh yeah? What are you saying now, neighbor? Who has the last laugh now?
Right now they're going to back up the cable truck so that they have a way to pull it uphill. So you can see that big stump up there. They're going to utilize that so they have something to anchor the truck to, so they can use it to pull most of the weight. Got a big maple here to anchor the crew. Walk it here. Something to hook it up to. Alright, so now we're getting the cables hooked up. You can see we have a very tight corner here, so it's not going to be easy. And down here we're hooking up to the tongue now and try to pull the tongue forward so that we can negotiate that corner. I mean, stuff I wouldn't have thought it to do. I don't see any issue with tension so far, but see, I think they're gonna pull on one side while they pull on the other. Try to turn it around. They're very patient, and they seem to have a good sense of what's that called? Math. The thing that does things with the thing. When you think about what the relationship of things to things, yeah, that thing. Got it here. We leveled it. Wasn't easy. You can see how many blocks we have on this side. How high we needed to level in order to get things where we needed them. But it's here. We have the kids running around making noise inside.
GMP, Green Mountain Power. This is where our power pole is going to be. We were going to try to do in-ground, but to get all the way down through the muck was going to be very difficult. We might do it at a later date. Currently we just have no time, money, or, well, to be honest, energy to dig a 3-foot trench or a 3-foot deep trench. But it'll be right here next to the temporary home. We got a tarp. You could call it a tarp. It's an old banner for like highway advertisements and stuff. Advertisements on the sides of buildings. And it's quite large. It's bigger than the camper itself. But you get them at a steep discount if you promise not to show the advertisement on them. You only show the black back. We are covering the camper because it has had leaks in the past that we are told have been covered, but always good to cover it just in case. Oh, well, that worked really well. Did we have it on camera? Absolutely not. I have a piece of wire, Ben has a piece of rope to either side, and we literally just walked it down the whole, let go. Em is trying to steal that.
Or that hook.
Yeah, I can give you the panel hook.
Jump rope. Sorry, language. There's a jump rope you're standing on.
Am I? Oh, I couldn't see it. Here you go. We're still fixing it up, still cleaning it out. There's only a little bit left to do. We might camp out here this coming week. It's really dark in here because the tarp, the big tarp that I showed us putting on earlier, isn't tied off anywhere yet. It's just kind of draped over. You've got the master, which we were able to fit our king or a king in here and still have room for our little closet. There's actually quite a bit of storage space in here. I was really pleased to see, but there's hooks all over the place. for storing clothes. We're going to tie bins together, kind of do the choo-choo train style. A little area here, like I said, they kind of just walked off, so we've got all of their things. I'm going through to see what is usable and what is not. Got 2 closets, which is great. Ooh, it's getting so dark. Hello. For the kids' beds area, we actually went with toddler size mattresses because I was trying to find the mattresses that are the single talls that fit into these cubbies really well. There was one on Amazon that wasn't insanely priced. So we decided to go with toddler beds because the kids can fit on them. C is just a little bit, like, he's like perfectly sized, but he always sleeps in fetal position like me anyway. But with this, we're going to build them more storage down there. So they're going to have storage. That the top bunk has the same thing. It has a cubby and has hooks. So we're going to build them storage for clothes and toys so that they do have a little place to store their own stuff. A little, you know, like, this is my area. You know, when you live out in the middle of nowhere and you're in a tiny location, you know, having the ability to have your own space that no one can mess with is very important. So making sure that they have their own little spots. I've got all of the wood from demolishing the old bed frame, and side table and everything is all here. I'm going to be lugging that up the hill. We'll probably use a good amount of that to clad the chicken coop, because we needed to go out and buy a little bit more supplies for the coop, and I'm glad that we didn't, because we broke down the whole bed and everything.
Hello. So something I figured out while working on the other side is that if you don't go from top to bottom or bottom to top one stage at a time, you're going to end up warping your mesh quite a bit. So on this side, I'm doing it the same way I did on the other with that one revision, and it's kept it nice and straight and tight the whole way across so far.
Because we did have a couple of puckers.
We fixed them best we could.
Yeah, nothing too serious.
Yeah, I mean, if we were trying to be pretty, we definitely would have messed up. But, you know, we're trying to be functional. I mean, it's nice when you can be functional and pretty, but we can't always do that. So.
These are the 3 older Keats that are staying at Casa Neighbors. My neighbors with chickens were kind enough to let us keep these guys in here. They're still very skittish. That's all right. We'll tame them down. But they're in here for a couple more days, hanging out with their girls. Hi, ladies. Until we have the coop finished completely. It's almost done. It just needs a roof on it now, and we got to finish that up. It was very hot today. Why are you trying to bite my buttons? What is this? Those are my buttons. You leave my buttons alone. Look at you. Get away from my buttons.
And now we're doing a lift and pull technique using one of the posts as a pivot point. And we'll rotate it into place and then adjust. Okay, so we have almost all of our floor joists on top of our sills. We're still going to need to do layout and cutting, and here comes Madison and Sam with our last 5x7, bringing it up the hill. So with this, we'll be able to get everything laid out and cut, and get our floor set, and we'll actually have somewhere to start staging for the vertical climb. And with that, that is it for the heavy timbers for today.
I don't want there to be like pinkies and us to like smooch them. No, there's no babies in there. Just a cricket. No babies. can get away with doing something interesting. Whoa! My parents picked these beam dollies, I guess you could call them, from a nice old man in New Hampshire. It was really, really awesome to be able to throw a beam on it, teeter-totter, and walk the larger beams into here. The smaller ones we were able to just carry. It was really nice. So all of that is in here. The greenhouse is raining today inside because moving all of those beams in there brought in a lot more moisture than was in there before, which is great because that's pulling all that moisture out of the beams themselves, which is awesome. Get them dry. They'll be the same level as all the other ones within a week or two. And we placed all the floor joists and sills. We're going to be marking them and getting them ready for cutting. We're going to be doing half lap, and for the floor joists you do a really cool swooping cut into it instead of a right angled cut, so that it doesn't hurt the integrity of the beam. We'll show how to do that as well. Very fun times. With all the leaves. What's going on? Oh no. Fall has begun.